How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Opinion Piece. It's Thaddeus once again, and today we're going to be recapping the rest of season one of Kaiju number 8. If you haven't watched part one of my recap, I get really in depth about the first arc, so go check that out. The second arc of season one is Sagamihara neutralization operation at daybreak. And basically, we're just picking up where we left off. All of the promising young examinees had passed the test. Unfortunately, Kafka did not. However, Vice Captain Soshiro decided that he saw something deep down in Kafka that would help, that would be helpful to the defense force. Kafka's battle power and fighting skills were way behind compared to the young and upcoming prospects, but that was overlooked due to his selflessness, kaiju knowledge, and unwavering determination. As the new members of the 3rd Division trained and bonded together over what seemed to be a few weeks, their first mission as official Defense Force members was approaching quickly. As the emergency sirens went off, everyone geared up for battle. Soon they were in a convoy van heading to intercept the kaiju. After deployment, all of the new recruits were quickly showing why their group was being looked at as potential leaders in the defense force. During the battle, Vice Captain Soshiro and the ground forces were to neutralize the offspring of the gargantuan fungi type kaiju, that while the captain of the 3rd Division, Mina, was to use her specialty sniper rifle to defeat it from a large distance. She successfully takes it down, but the offspring begin to scatter. The ground troops begin to engage, and now the mission kind of seems to be all but complete when two of the young prospects encounter a humanoid kaiju, and it's definitely not Kafka. Reno and Iharu realize that it is Kaiju number 9. They jump into action, but they are no match for him. Kaiju number 9 mercilessly attacks them both, dealing heavy blows. And at that moment, Kafka detects the presence of number 9 and immediately heads towards it to eliminate it once and for all. He then speed rushes number 9, and number 9 is taken by surprise with how powerful Kafka is in kaiju form. After being pummeled nearly to death, number 9 flees and only escapes by a small margin. Kafka is relieved that he was able to save his friends, but knows that number 9 will be even more of a problem in the future. Afraid of being discovered in kaiju form, Kafka flees but runs into Vice Captain Soshiro. The two begin to fight. Soshiro is basically going for the kill with every slash, and Kaiju number 8 is just trying to stay alive and not injure his vice captain in the process. Kafka is eventually able to escape, but not without raising suspicions. After the mission is deemed a success, the Defense Force members have a party, during which Kafka is promoted to a full officer. Later on, Captain Mina tells Kafka it was Soshiro's idea to promote him, and a few days later, Kafka and Vice Captain Soshiro are training late when a horde of airborne kaiju begin to attack. Moving on to the next arc, the raid on Tachikawa Base. This arc is filled to the brim with action, showcasing the different abilities and power levels from both kaiju and high-ranking officers. It feels like the party celebrating the first successful mission had just fizzled out when a new threat suddenly appears. The previous mission was mostly planned out with clear roles for each soldier, but this clearly was about to be a chaotic start to this battle, especially since the captain is currently off base attending to official matters. The group of airborne kaiju that were attacking the base were quickly verified to be of the wyvern type. Many were dive bombing into the main structures of Tachikawa Base. As everyone begins to mobilize, they notice that the wyvern are rarely spotted in general, and it's even more suspicious that they are working together. Everyone is wondering, why have they teamed up? Vice Captain Soshiro concludes that they must all be following orders from an intelligent and more powerful kaiju. Suddenly, an obviously powerful humanoid kaiju appears and slowly approaches Soshiro and company. This kaiju is later to be named Kaiju number 10. The kaiju asks, who is the strongest at this base? So Soshiro and this humanoid kaiju skip the pageantries and jump straight into hand-to-hand combat. This is Soshiro's specialty. As the two start to trade deadly blows, everyone realizes the Wyverns' teamwork is making them very hard to take down. So Kikaru leaps into action, unveiling her new weapon, a broadaxe that delivers a sonic blast on contact. Her powerful presence immediately shifts the momentum in the favor of the defense force. Meanwhile, Soshiro and Kaiju number 10 continue their battle. Kaiju number 10 begins to lose his edge, feeling cornered after Soshiro delivers several devastating slashes. Kaiju number 10 transforms into a kaiju the size of a building. He seems to get the upper hand on Soshiro with his newfound size. Just as Soshiro begins to reach his limit, Captain Mina fires multiple shots from a skyscraper at a great distance, defeating Kaiju number 10 and ending the battle. But with his last breath, Kaiju number 10 gives his final orders to his minions. They begin to flock together high in the sky to create an abomination set to explode when it hits the ground. This would definitely destroy the base and everyone in it. There's no time to escape. An ominous feeling of doom sets in. Then, Kafka, fully transformed as Kaiju number 8, appears before everyone to send the enormous Kaiju makeshift grenade to an astonishing altitude with a single blow where it detonates, causing only minor damage. Everyone is completely shocked to see that one of their most trusted friends and fellow officers is indeed the infamous Kaiju number 8. The Defense Force takes Kafka into custody. That's a crazy ending to that arc. But moving on and basically starting right where we left off, the next arc is Kaiju number 8 captured. Kafka is held in prison until he can be brought to speak to the Defense Force's top brass, who are all split on whether or not to dispose of him or use him as a biological weapon. But one man considers an unprecedented option. However, he wants to test Kafka before his decision is made. This man is the Director General of the Defense Force and the father of Kikaru, Isao Shinomiya. This madman is a badass and a monster in his own right, having been one of the Defense Force's most powerful officers in his heyday. Kafka is in for a rude awakening in the form of the Director General's twisted loyalty test. As Isao enters the room where Kafka is being held, Kafka tries to reason with him, but he is there to prove that Kafka is not human any longer and will either side with other kaijus and or lose control of his kaiju transformation and wreak havoc on humankind no matter the outcome. Isao unleashes an onslaught of attacks ranging from gunfire and deadly blows with a weapon made from a powerful kaiju from the past, Kaiju number 2. Kafka is now thrust into a battle that he doesn't even want to participate in, but Isao is determined to push Kafka to past his limits to prove he can't control the Kaiju number 8's form. Soon enough, Hibino's limit is reached and the inner kaiju takes over. At this point, number 8 begins to overpower Isao. Kafka struggles to regain control, but eventually is able to show everyone that he is still human by jamming his own arm through his own chest to expose his kaiju core. And not a moment too soon, as Kaiju number 8 was about to end the Director General's life. When Kafka regains consciousness, Isao is there to inform him that he will not be disposed of. He has been deemed controllable, and he won't be used for weaponry either. But in order to rejoin his fellow officers, he will have to prove his usefulness in order to survive. Well, as you can see, guys, season 1 ends on a really good cliffhanger, but a little bit of a high note. You know, not too much of a downer there. There is hope that he will be able to join his friends again and help them fight other kaiju. But his future is still very undecided and still can go either way. Isao and Kikoru's stood up for him, so that way the other members of the board would at least give that option a chance, even though there is no precedent for it. Isao pushes to let them know that in these kinds of times, you have to take unprecedented risks in order to get a better outcome. So I was really happy with the end of the first season. Season two, I mean, I really can't wait because there's going to be so many upgrades and people's power levels are going to be going up and they're going to be having more skills and all that stuff. So I'm really excited for season two. I hope you guys enjoyed this recap of season one. Kaiju number 8 is one of my top 10 animes of all time, so this was a really fun video for me to make and really put like a lot of deep thought into it. Um, I will be watching season 2 as soon as it comes out. Season 2 should be out in just a couple of weeks here, so please stay tuned. I will be doing more videos as the season 2 episodes come out to recap a few of them. Everybody do your best to keep your cool and not lose control of your kaiju form just like Kafka did, and I'm sure it'll work out for you. See you next time. Take it easy.